Wrist action in the stroke. There is still a lot of confusion out there. Some people say you need a loose wrist, you need that racket head acceleration. Others say with that loose wrist you will lose control, the ball will go all over the place. And for that they say you need a firm wrist to make contact, also to keep that racket strings pointing as long as possible into the direction. Well, if it's up to me, I want to loose wrist, and I'm going to explain you why. So here I'm making a motion, making that wrist action but not hitting the ball, so we can see afterwards what is the difference with hitting and no hitting. So here I make the hitting against the ball in slow motion, making that wrist action, and it's hard to see what's happening. So try to check again what's happening with the racket the moment we touch the ball, and then we're going to check those actions click by click to see what's really happening. So here I would make contact without hitting the ball, and this is click 1, and this is click 2, and see already how far the tip of the racket is, click 3 and click 4, and I'm already with the tip in the front. Now here I would make contact hitting the ball. This is click 1, and you see only the racket angle change. Click 2, the racket is almost closing. Click 3, racket starts to go. Click 4, racket goes more. Now in click 5 I'm at the same, and in click 2 in the other one, and click 6 and click 7. Now we're going to check this a little better. So watch my hand. This is where I start to make my movement. Click 1 and click 2. Watch already how far that racket is. So because there is no resistance of the ball, that racket will go faster, and this is one of the reasons why you need that loose wrist. Here is click 4 and 5. So now the racket tip is to the front. Here I make contact, and as you can see in click 1, the racket stays in the back, not because I want to keep it in the back. This is click 2, and the racket close more, not because I'm closing the racket, but because of the impact of the ball a little bit too much on the bottom side of the racket, and the racket is actually, because of the force of the ball, pushing the racket back. And this is why you think sometimes that you keep following with the strings in the direction, but it's because of the force of the ball that the racket stays a little bit behind. Now here you have the click 3 and 4, and start to see how the racket starts to go. So there is a delay in racket head speed because of the impact of the ball. Now let's check out some professional strokes. We're going to check Federer and Dimitrov, and here we have the contact. Now the racket will be in the same position. As you can see here, the racket will be in click 2 the same as mine is, and here he will finish. And let's go to Dimitrov. You will see the same. He's making that preparation, and here he's making contact, and as you will see, also the tip of the racket goes to the front, and you can still see the ball. Now watch how much that racket went, but we will see later on the delay in the racket, and we will do again Dimitrov, because I want to show you afterwards what can happen with the racket if you make contact. And again here the tip is to the front. Yeah, so now let's check out what can actually happen when you make contact with the ball. So here, as you can see, the racket of Federer right after contact is still straight, because you can still see the ball here. And we have the same here with Dimitrov. Now, what's the angle of the racket? The racket is closed. This is not because he's closing, but because of the impact of the ball. And this is at the bottom. Here was the racket. Now the racket is open, so he touched the ball more on the top of the racket. So depending on where you are hitting the ball, a little bit on the bottom, a little more on the top, or in the middle, that racket will start to change the angle. So keeping the racket strings in the direction will also be difficult if you're not hitting the ball clear. But we have seen that if they would keep the strings into the direction they want to play, then the racket should stay in the same position as you make contact. And that we can see here with Federer. Now his arm would go straight, and his racket should stay all the time in that way until his arm is completely to the front, which will not happen. And for that, there is wrist action before, during, and after contact to keep that racket going, to keep having that racket head acceleration and that powerful forehand. So here you could see what actually is happening during that contact. So for me the conclusion is easy. Yes, I want that loose wrist, and I even promote making that wrist action through the ball to have that extra power. So this was the video for today. Thank you for watching. See you in another video.